I'm always say it's all package. First of all, it's the talent helps a lot, of course, but of course the ethic of work. You have to put in your mind ethic of work when you are professional. So since day one, when I start with a professional, let's say with 16, 17, 18, I'm always have an ethic to be the best, to train hard, to listen to all the players, experienced players. And of course, my dreaming coming true. I was professional. I played in the best clubs in the world. I won the most important trophies. So I'm glad to be in this position. But of course, this is not coming from the sky. I dedicate myself and I'm working hard. And this is why the goals and all the achievements that I get coming from dedication and hard work.
And then when the time comes to focus on the game, I focus on my athletic skills and putting it together with the team and somehow collectively going out and doing our jobs each and every day. I challenge myself to be the best basketball player every moment that I'm playing the game of basketball. And sometimes that means tricking yourself in your mind to say that you can't do this or your weaknesses are here, but yet you still try to work on improving those weaknesses. A lot of people may say, well, Michael Jordan never had weaknesses. Michael Jordan had weaknesses. He just had to dig deep inside himself to figure out what they were and challenge himself to improve those weaknesses.
Let's look at a fairy tale story. Let's look at Snow White. She gets a happy ending. She finds Prince or whatever. She goes on. She lives happily ever after. Well, I call bullshit on that because 2 months later, the fact is they had an argument and he's sleeping on the couch. So the point is, the story continues. The story continues. So if you fail on Monday, the only way it's a failure on Monday is if you decide to not progress from that, right? So to me, that's why failure is not existent. Because, if I fail today, okay, I'm gonna learn something from that failure and I'm gonna try again on Tuesday. And the reason why I would not have accomplished those things is poor leadership, failure to communicate properly with my teammates to put them in positions to be successful, lack of preparation. All those things would be reasons why I don't win, right? So now, if that was the case, in my career, I have to sit and I have to analyze that. And then as I move and I evolve post-basketball into business or whatever, those same weaknesses are going to reveal themselves there, right? So if I don't learn from that, I'm going to struggle here too, right? So I can take those situations and learn from those and have them make me a better person later in life. After watching that film, I come to understand if I could work that hard every day, being blessed with the physical tools that I have, what would my career be? And I made a promise to myself that I was going to work that hard every single day so that when I do retire, I have no regrets. And that was the most important thing for me, is to leave no stone unturned, get better every single day. And if I lived that way, then over time, I'd have something that was beautiful.
You have to get up every day and do the work, right? Consistently do the work. My kids, volleyball, basketball, schoolwork, they work every day. And then it's the work stuff. Like balancing work and family is hard. And I'm really committed to work. And I don't compromise time with my family. So the time that I'm not working, I'm spending it with them, And so you kind of lose out on some of the social things from time to time. But when I was 18, 20, 21 years old, I wanted to play basketball. I was consumed with this quest of trying to be the best, and we weren't there yet. There's so many things I had to figure out. Like, am I training properly? Am I working on the right things on the court? There's so many things to do. I didn't have time to go and, hang out over here.
Life is real short. Well, you add up all your traveling, add up all your sleeping, add up all your school, add up all your entertainment, you've probably been half your life doing nothing.
Let's say that I slept 6 hours a day, or let's go really crazy and say I slept 4 hours a day. So now I just got 4 so-called productive hours back. So if I was going to, have, say, 12 hours of productive time during any waking day, now all of a sudden I have 12 plus 4, I have 16 productive hours. So I have 33% more time to make decisions. So if I was going to make, 100 decisions, now I can make 133 decisions.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society and the ones that didn't. Oftentimes, it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail.
The stress primarily comes from not taking action over something that you can have some control over. So if I find that some particular thing is causing me to have stress, that's a warning flag for me. What it means is there's something that I haven't completely identified, perhaps in my conscious mind, that is bothering me, and I haven't yet taken any action on it. Stress doesn't come from hard work, for example. You can be working incredibly hard and loving it, and likewise, you can be out of work and incredibly stressed over that. So, and likewise, if you kind of use that as an analogy for what I was just talking about, if you're out of work, but you're going through, a disciplined approach of, a series of job interviews and so on and working to remedy that situation, you're going to be a lot less stressed than if you're just worrying about it and doing nothing.
Being focused on something that you're confident will have high value to someone else. If other people are putting in 40-hour work weeks and you're putting in 100-hour work weeks, even if you're doing the same thing, you know that you will achieve in 4 months what it takes them a year to achieve.
So what does super hard mean? When my brother and I were starting our first company, instead of getting an apartment, we just rented a small office and we slept on the couch. And we showered at the YMCA, and we're so hot up we had just one computer. So the website was up during the day and I was coding at night. 7 days a week, all the time. Work hard every waking hour. That's the thing I would say. If somebody else is working 50 hours and you're working 100, you'll get twice as much done in the course of a year as the other company.